Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome to Emotional Response ER. This is Life Coaching with Ink. Ivory, how are you doing this evening? I'm excited because we're doing part 2 of Picking Your Battles. I know we grew from Tuesday because I know I grew. The more you understand the topic, the more you understand how to deal with certain situations that come in your life, the better you become as a person. And I get excited about that because the better I am only allows me to be better at connecting with others and having better relationships, better social skills, better interpersonal communication skills, which is vital. So as we continue, it's 2 main things I want to talk about when it comes to picking your battles. And I want you to realize that when picking your battles, it's to the discretion of the person involved, 1, and 2, taking into account the opposing party. Now, depending on the relationship, it varies. It could be the same person, and the battles they might pick with one person might be different in the battles that they pick with other people that are in their life. And neither is less than the other. It's just we are very uniquely designed, and how I might relate to you might be totally different than how I relate to your brother. Because your brother has a whole set of personalities, thoughts, and perspectives. And you do too. And you can be raised in the same household and still walk away being 2 different people. So I challenge you to dare to be you and know what that entails. Know the boundaries that you have for one person as well as the boundaries that you have for another person, and how that affects picking your battles is certain people that it might be tougher for you to pick certain battles because you're so emotionally attached to that person, and vice versa. Now, the 2 main points that I want to cover tonight is evaluate how much the issue is bothering you. This point plays a significant role in picking your battles. The how and the when. Because based on how you evaluate the issue at hand and how much is bothering you will be the pendulum on the how and the when. And that's how significant it is. Sometimes things cannot wait till the next day. Other times, matters of the heart can wait till the next month. And it's all based on a person. But picking your battles and evaluating how much is bothering you will also determine if this is a battle that you're definitely going to pick or you're definitely not going to pick. Picking your battles is a concept that came up because you don't want to always in your relationship be bringing up issues and talking about what you don't like or what bothers you. Because at the end of the day, It's going to be things that bother you about you. And do you do that to yourself? And so you need to love people the way that you love yourself. And you don't always nitpick, nag, and pry at yourself. It's like looking at yourself in the mirror and just picking off your skin and just picking and picking. And though that's a graphic picture that I'm painting, that's how you have to look at your relationship. Because if you keep picking and picking and picking this battle to discuss and picking this battle, ain't nothing you're leaving out, nothing you're just saying is not worth it. Some things are genuinely not worth it. You can evaluate it and figure out that it's something not related to the relationship, but more so related to the internal battle that's going on within yourself. And so that evaluation process is very significant. It's very vital, very important. Any word that I can express to say that it is important, it really is. Because you can make a person feel attacked or feel on guard if every time they see you or you connect with them or you're around them, you're always battling. You're always battling. And part of the reason why evaluation is so key, sometimes when you evaluate the intensity of it bothering you, you can find out that it goes deeper than a present relationship. It might be your upbringing. It might be how you was treated in your household when you was a little kid. And because of that, you are scarred with a way that you handle things. Well, my mom used to battle about everything. Or my dad used to battle about everything. Whatever the case may be. But this is the thing. When we get in relationships and we start connecting with people, it's not so we can point out their flaws. It's so we can see our flaws. And sometimes you really don't know certain parts of yourself until you get into a relationship. And so the evaluating part is so important because you can evaluate and find out that it's a war going on inside of you that you need to deal with. And then once you resolve that, as strong as you thought the feeling was bothering you, it lessens up. So knowing to evaluate how much the issue is bothering you is very key. Is very key. And the second one I wanted to talk about is stick to a single issue. Whew. There are men out there, but there are more women than men in this issue of sticking to a single issue. Basically, it is while you're thinking over an issue, try not to let your other thoughts unravel other issues. And next thing you know, you're pouring on a pot load of things in your significant other, in your friendship, in your job. All because you are letting all these other issues come in. The issue at hand might be lateness. Well, something that is a pet peeve might cross your mind and say, while I'm at it, let's discuss this. Just because it's a thought, that don't mean it's a priority. And you have to know the difference, because you might be handling one issue and a thought of another issue will come up. You need to be able to control yourself and manage your emotions enough to know this is not the time or the place. Doesn't devalue the issue. It's just basically saying that you don't pour issue on top of the issue. Deal with the issue in hand and leave it at that. It's easy to talk and take a small thing like who's doing the dishes at night and let it turn into examining who does more chores in general. It's like, whoa, they are two different topics and they don't go hand in hand. And so a response, or the response that you might be looking from addressing the battle, you might find that there won't be any response, because the person goes into a mode, attack mode, or preserving mode, because clearly you want to tear everything apart when it comes to them. Issue on top of issue on top of issue. Begin to forming a habit of talking about issues up front. Now, picking your battle doesn't mean talk about every single issue. Once you evaluate it and you feel as though it still needs to be discussed, then by all means discuss it. If you don't hear it from anybody else, you are doing a wonderful job, because just by listening to the podcast, you're showing to yourself that I have room for management. I have room to become more knowledgeable and more available. So when kids younger might need you, you are available. These two matters are very key. Evaluating the issue and sticking to a single issue is very key. You have to be able to do that. You have to be able to control your thoughts. Just because all these other thoughts start jumping up, that don't mean it's time to discuss them right now. Well, while I'm at it. No, calm down. Calm down. There is another day where you will encounter this person. Another day to the relationship. But you moving in anxiousness might push the person further away, or even cancel out the relationship, because you gotta talk about every issue at hand. Pump your brakes. Make it a single issue. Make sure you're clear and to the point, and the person hears more message